Dear students, parents, Honorable Chancellor Sir, Pro Chancellor Sir, and Vice Chancellor Sir, I also welcome other senior authorities of the university, Head of the Department, Dean of the Faculty, Professor Anil Dubey, our industry expert for today, and fellow faculty members. I, Dr. Asma Farooq, Associate Professor in the Department of Commerce and Business Management, welcome you all on behalf of the department, Integral University, and my personal behalf to the second day of orientation program for the academic year 2020-21. At the outset, I congratulate you all for taking admission in a lively, challenging, diverse, and warm community at Integral University. Students are the real ambassadors of the university, and therefore you are special to me. And it is our mission to teach and train young students to become world class leaders, academicians, and corporate executives. I wish that your journey of 2 years for postgraduate students and 3 years for undergraduate students is full of knowledge acquisition, practical training, professional grooming, and overall personality development. The Department of Commerce and Business Management is the most flourishing and prospering department of the university. For postgraduate students, the successful completion of their course would serve as a gateway for career designing and selection. While for undergraduate students, this will be an experience of independent thinking and learning, which is going to be very different from school learning. The purpose of this orientation program is to make you the faculty members of the department and other things of the department. Once again, I wish you all the very best for the intellectual adventure you are about to undertake at Integral University, a seat of excellence. Now, I would like to introduce the young and the enterprising head of the department, Dr. Syed Shahid Mazhar. He is an expert in the field of accounting and finance. You would get an opportunity to enrich your knowledge bank on and off the class during your stay in the department. With these words, I request Dr. Syed Shahid sir to brief.
Thank you, Dr. Asma. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Chancellor and Founder, Integral University. Honorable Pro Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Deans of the faculties, Directors, Heads of the departments, faculty members, parents, and my dear students. A very good afternoon to all of you. This is Dr. Shahid Mazhar, Head Department of Commerce and Business Management, and I welcome you all to this online orientation program. Dear students, about your academic journey with us. I know that you are excited, and I also believe that you will discover over the years lively, diverse, challenging, and a campus with unlimited opportunities and possibilities. The parents, I congratulate and assure that you have taken the right decision and your ward will get plenty of opportunities to learn and grow. Dear students, let me say a few words about the department. It was in the year 2004 when the journey of this department started with just 55 students in the MBA program. Today, we have more than 1,300 students in the department. We have a team of committed, dedicated, and well qualified faculty members having diverse academic background, specialization, expertise, and also enriched with industry experience and exposure. We have more than 90 research scholars who are pursuing their research in their respective specialization and areas under the guidance of our faculty supervisor. We set high expectations for our students and establish engaging curricular and learning environment. We provide students with skills and experiences needed to succeed in a complex, technology driven, and global society. Our goal is to change the world through education. This is what encourages the work of everyone at department, right from the faculty and staff to students and alumni. Department also offers undergraduate programs like BCom, BBA, BBA Hotel Management, BBA Tourism, and postgraduate programs like Master of Business Administration with dual specialization in finance, marketing, HR, IT, as well as MCom to keep pace with the industry and to cater the demand of new avenues. Department also offers industry-oriented programs in collaboration with industries like BBA Business Analytics with IBM, BBA and MBA Supply Chain Management with Safe Educate, MBA Digital Marketing with Times Pro, BCom and MCom International Accounting and Finance with ACCA UK London. In addition to the above, department also offers doctoral program in the area of commerce and management. To monitor all the academic activities related to the program, department has designed an organized structure for undergraduate and postgraduate programs and appointed a faculty coordinator for each and entire discipline. We also have discipline committee, anti-ragging and women grievance cells at departmental level for maintaining high standards of decorum in their attitude and behavior. Apart from academics, we also have exclusive students committees like cultural committee, hostel committee, media and public relations committee, IT and placement committees, and clubs like finance club, marketing club, HR, social innovation club, which promotes curricular, co-curricular, or extracurricular activities. These clubs are coordinated and run by student members under the guidance of faculty coordinator of the respective committees and clubs. For students who wish to extend their family business and have passion to be their own boss, we have Center for Incubation and Entrepreneurship Development Cell at university level, which supports and trains students to initiate startups. Apart from central library, department has its own exclusive library where you will find all the commerce and business management related books, journals, magazines, newspapers, etc. For training and placement, the department has association with central library. We have designated faculties to connect students with CCGND. I want you to know about getting a well paid job. It's a place for you to expand and explore and transform. How much you receive at the end of the journey depends on how much effort you have put in. As you begin your journey here at Integral, specifically department, I urge you to develop winning attitude right from today. Study hard, learn as much as possible, make good use of the various opportunities available and offered to you. I trust that the vigorous and personal education at department will help you grow and achieve your potential. I hope you will enjoy the orientation program and I look forward to the fresh ideas and energy you bring to our campus. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Shahid. Now I take the opportunity to introduce our Dean, Professor A.K. Saxena sir, who has more than 40 years of teaching experience. He is a seasoned academician and a spirited administrator. His presence in the department spreads knowledge, care, and life to all budding managers in the department. With these words, I request Sir to address the students online.
Thank you, Dr. Asma. Good morning, dear friends. As I've already been introduced, I'm here working as a Dean of the Faculty in this prestigious scholarly university. Today, on this auspicious day, my dear newly admitted students and the parents, I, from the inner core of my heart, most cordially welcome you all on behalf of the guardian and founder and chancellor of this university, Professor S.W. Akhtar, Pro Chancellor Dr. Sayyid Nadeem Akhtar, Vice Chancellor Dr. Akil Ahmed, and on my personal behalf. You see, the Department of Commerce and Business Management is the premier and the pioneer department of this university and the oldest one, which has started with the initiation and the establishment of this university in 2005. To begin with, it has started with the master's program, and thereafter it has gone for having a full basket of the commerce and the management program, which Dr. Shahid, the head of the department, has already explained that today we have got a variety of programs in BBA and BCom honors with collaboration with the iNurtures, the IBM, the SafeGate, and the Times Pro. And we have a very prestigious PhD program in all the functional areas of the economics. Remember you, economics and the commerce is the daughter, management is the hybrid child. Remember you, my dear friends, that everything starts with the economics, and in this real life situation, if you do a precise research, you find that it is the food, cloth, and shelter for which we say fight throughout our life, and that in fact reputation and other parts we keep on earning. Remember you one thing, my dear friends, that you have been special to us, and you have chosen this prestigious university of national and international repute and joined this university. You have your ambitions, and we try to come up to your expectations, and you and also we also expect some good things from you in terms of two three things which I am going to discuss right now. And that is one thing to be remember you always, that there is substitute to God. Remember you, my dear students. If you're not happy with Shankarji, worship Hanumanji. Well, Islam, in Islam, the Allah is one. In the say Hinduism, everywhere the God is one. There's a different incarnation. But there's, remember you, no substitute to parents. Please do not forget you, parents, who have made you to see the sunshine of this wonderful earth and the society and the environment and the ecology and the diversity of the country and the nation and the world and the globe. So parents are always to be kept in mind. At no stage of time, it is their hard-earned income blood. With that, you have been today admitted to this university. They are in fact feeding you, and they are in fact, and without any expectation. That is selfless and attitude on the part of the parents. They do not expect anything from you, but you should come to their expectation. Number one. Number two, by virtue of getting birth, you derive through the law of inheritance, sexual, sex things, characters, certain attitude, aptitude, behavior, personality, which have to be trained and groomed and nursed by us to make you the world class leaders, world class academicians. Remember, you all the leaders are not born, all the leaders are not trained. Take the case of the Ambanis or the Tata or the Birla, the JK or the Dalmia. They were not MBAs, they were not MComs, but in fact, it is their vision and the mission and the objectives and the goals and the targets that has made them to reach to this height of the world. Take the case of the Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Premji, Narayan Murthy of Infosys, or say in computerization, the global companies like Deloitte, say Accenture, and TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, which is said to be the best retainer, where you join and become a family. We have adopted the Japanese culture of one family system. You join the organization and you become a part and parcel of that. So that is one very important part of that. Never forget the values and ethics of the management and the values and ethics of the culture of the society. You see, whatever culture your parents have been taught to you, that we are going to see first with you here in this campus, and then we'll say, like, if I wish you or you wish me in the morning, say good morning, I derive a notion that this culture has been taught to this boy by their parents. The boys and girls, they go neck to neck, shoulder to shoulder, and today the arena is the of a high competitive cutthroat competition. We try to imbibe in you through our teaching and learning process, impaired in you endurance, patience, tolerance, resilience, in addition to skill, attitude, aptitude, and behavior, so that you become a full spectacular personality, all in one in yourself, whatever field you choose. But what in return we expect from you? We expect great dedication, sincerity, and loyalty. Remember, you have to be loyal to your institution without compromising the quality and the time. You are going to wherever you will go, like your alumni are best placed in the world, that the and see and ensure that the flag of the Integra University is aloft, and you are going to represent the our university. We have got wonderful infrastructure, instructional facilities with a seminar hall, a good computer lab, departmental library. We have very qualified teachers. 99% teachers are doctorates and with pretty good experience, with one professor of eminence in the department, emeritus, and people from industry. You will find wonderful life for 2 to 3 years. Remember, there is no substitute to even student life. These 2 year or 3 year precious life, wonderful experience. If you will waste, you will repent throughout the country. If you will enjoy and you make use of it, you will still remember your student life. Because once you're in the rut of the job, in the corporate world or in the academy or industry, you will always remember that we were best when we were students. So you make the best use of this time. And without making say, I would like to make a mention that today you are looking after the roadmap drawn by your alumni, and tomorrow you will be alumni of this university yourself. And these people, your alumni, are suitably placed nationally and globally. You should also have wishful thinking that one day you will also become the alumni of this university. See, I'm going to end up with my two points which is there in my mind, that दूरदृष्टि, पक्का इरादा, कड़ी मेहनत. These should be your vision and mission. दूरदृष्टि, पक्का इरादा एंड कड़ी मेहनत. इसके बिना कुछ भी नहीं लाइफ में हो पाया है. ये हमारी जो पुरानी परिभाषा है सिल्वर स्पून इन माउथ, वो खत्म हो गई है. किसी भी क्षेत्र में जाएं, बिना मेहनत, देयर इज नो सब्स्टिट्यूट लेबर. Honest labor with dedication, selfless labor, with of course values and ethics intact, sincerity, authenticity, and the honesty intact, loyalty intact to your parents, to your teachers, to your fellow colleagues. A good old saying is, "Friend indeed is a friend indeed." This is the phrase which is fully applicable amongst our teachers, and you should make applicable with your fellow students when you join your organization. And as what Dr. Asma has already said, students are a person no less than Abraham Lincoln, the first president of the United States of America. He has said that students are the real ambassadors of the institutions, and an institution is one where one brick is added every day. We have come on this earth, we will go out from this earth, but the institutions will go for thousands and thousands and thousands of years and miles to go before we sleep, what Dr. Rabindranath Tagore has said it. So you should not get yourself frustrated with this COVID time which you have passed through for 6-8 months. No depression, nothing doing, no panic, no anxiety. Come, we are going to open our full arm and heart to welcome you, to embrace to you, to garland you in this Department of Commerce and Business Management, which is said to be the backbone of any university department, from where the university is known that how best you are, because minus industry there's no globe, and you are the people who will run the university. With these words, I wish you, and once again wish you best of luck, and once again welcome you all to this prestigious department of this nationally and internationally known prestigious university, where we have got students from Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Kenya, Nigeria, say Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Afghanistan, and few from Germany who have come from their training and all. So today it is a international university, means university, universe. People from any part of the universe can come and talk and undergo the training. So therefore, with these words, I once again welcome you all to this department, and thank you very much for giving me patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Dean sir. Now we come to the next part of the orientation program, for which I would request Mr. Shahabuddin, who is a faculty member, a very talented and a skillful faculty member of the department. He would be sharing some interesting videos on TEDx Talk. So over to you, Mr. Shahab.
People in the back, can you hear me clearly? Okay, good. Have you ever held a question in so long becomes part of how you think, maybe even part of who you are? I've had a question in my mind for many, many years, and that is how. This is an interesting learning to spend less time at school. And if you learn really fast, probably wouldn't have to go to school at all. When I was young, it's sort of okay, but I found quite difficult watching learning. So I had this question in mind: how do you learn faster? And this began when I was very, very young. When I was 11 years old, I wrote a letter to researchers in the Soviet Union asking about hypnopedia. This is sleep learning, where you get a paper cord, put it inside your bed, and it turns on in the middle of the night when you're sleeping, and you're supposed to be learning from this. Good idea. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Wikipedia did open the doors to research in other areas, and it had incredible stuff about learning. It began with that first question. I went on from there to become passionate about psychology, and I have been involved in psychology in many different ways in my life up until this point. In 1981, I took myself to China, and I decided that I was going to be inside 2 years. Now, you need to understand, in 1981, everybody Chinese was really, really difficult, and that a Westerner could study for 10 years or more and never really get very good at it. And I also went in with a different idea, which was taking included psychological research up to that point and applying them to the learning process. What was really cool was that in 6 months I was fluent in Mandarin Chinese, and it took a little bit longer to get up to native. But I looked around and I saw all of these people from different countries struggling terribly with Chinese. I saw Chinese people struggling terribly to learn English and other languages. And so my question got refined down to how can you help a normal adult learn a new language quickly and effectively? Now, this is a really, really we We have massive challenges with environment. We have massive challenges with social dislocation, with wars, all sorts of things going on. And if we can't communicate, we're really going to have difficulty solving these problems. So we need to be able to speak each other's languages. This is really, really important. How do you do that? Well, it's actually really easy. You look around for people who can already do it. You look for situations where it's already working, and then identify the principles and apply them. It's called modeling. I've been looking at language learning and modeling language learning for about 15 to 20 years now. And my conclusion, my observation from this is any adult can learn a second language to fluency inside 6 months. Now, when I say this, most people think I'm crazy. This is not possible. So let me remind everybody of the history of human progress. It's all about expanding our limit. In 1950, everybody believed that running 1 mile in 4 minutes was impossible. And then Roger Bannister did it in 1956, and from there it's got shorter and shorter. 100 years ago, everybody believed that heavy stuff doesn't. How does heavy stuff fly? Reorganize the material using principles that we have learned observing nature, birds in this case. And today, we've gone even further. So, you can buy one of these for a couple of $100,000 US. You can have cars in the world that fly. And there's a different way to fly, which we learned from squirrels. So what you need to do is copy what a flying squirrel does, build a suit called a wingsuit, and off you go. You can fly like a squirrel. Now, most people, a lot of people, I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people think we can't do it. Principles that you can apply to learning to draw. You can actually learn to draw in 5. You learn these principles for 5 days and apply them. And after 5 days, you can draw something like this. Now, I know this is true because that was my first I was able to do. Now, I looked at this and I went, wow. So that's how it's exploding. So, anybody can learn to draw in 5 days. And in the same way, with the same logic, anybody can learn a second language in 6 months. Now, there are 5 principles and 7 actions. Maybe a few more, but these are absolutely core. Before I get into those, I just want to talk about 2 myths. I want to dispel 2 myths. The first is that you can tell it. Let me tell you about Zoe. Zoe came from Australia, went to Holland, was trying to learn Dutch, struggling extremely a great deal. And finally, people were saying you're useless, and she was very, very depressed. And then she applied them, and in 6 months she was fluent in Portuguese. The talent doesn't matter. People also think that immersion in Hong Kong, look at all the Westerners who've been here who don't speak a America, Britain, Australia, been there 10, 20 years and they don't speak. It does not work. Why? Because when you don't speak a language, you're like a kid. You drop yourself into a context which is all. So, what are 5 things you need to pay attention to? The 4 words. Attention, meaning, and memory. These when you're talking about learning. Come on learning through a forest. On a walk through a forest and you see, you pay attention, maybe you don't. You go another 50 meters and you see this. 50 meters, if you haven't been paying and you've just learned that this and anything that is related to you, related to your survival, stuff. It's your own personal goal. You're going to pay attention to it. If it's relevant, you're going to. Language is focused on language content. We master tools by using tools, and we learn tools the fastest. Their story. Keyboard. Typing Chinese a certain way. There are methods for this. We had a colleague many years ago who went to night school Tuesday night, Thursday night, each time, get 9 months, and he did not. We had 48 hours to deliver a training manual. In 48 hours, she learned to type, and it was relevant, meaningful, it was useful, to create value. Your language as a tool to communicate, as a kid does. When I first arrived in China, I didn't speak a word of Chinese. Secondly, I take a train ride overnight. 8 hours sitting in the dining car talking to one of the guys on the train. He's been interested in me for some reason. And making movements with his hands and direction. He's talking by really cool was 2 weeks later when people in China understanding some of it, when I even absorbed it. That's not the train. The third principle. When you first understand the message, then you will acquire the language unconsciously. Documented now at school. Research on this. Stephen Krashen, up here in the field, has published all sorts of these different to show the scores on tests for language. The green and the purple people were people who had learned like formal. So comprehension works. Comprehension is and language learning is not about making lots of knowledge. In many, many ways, it's about what I know from Taiwan. Great schools, 8 grades all the way through and from and what people were saying. People started asking, are you dead? English dead. Because we have filters in our brain, filter in sound that we have and they filter out the sounds of languages that we know. And if you can't hear it, you won't understand it. If you can't understand it, you can't learn it. So you actually have to be able to hear these things. And there are ways to do that, but it's physiological training. Speaking takes muscle. You have to coordinate those in a way that makes sounds that other people will understand. If you've ever done a new if your face you're doing it right. And the final, if you're sad, angry, worried, upset, you're not going to learn, period. If you're happy, really quickly, and very specific, tolerant of ambiguity. If you're one of those people who needs to understand 100% every word you're hearing, you will go nuts because you're incredibly upset all the time because you're not perfect. If you're comfortable what you do understand, you're going to be fine, you're learning quickly. So based on those 5 principles, what are the 7 actions that you take? Number 1, listen a lot. You put yourself in a context where you hear tons and tons of. You're listening to the rhythms, you're listening to patterns, you're listening to things that stand out. So just second action is you meaning. I don't know the words, but I understand what different postures mean. Human communication is body language in many, many ways. So much body language. From your understanding, your acquiring to comprehensive input. And you can also use something you already know. Vietnam, you want 12%, because Vietnamese is about 30% Cantonese. The third action, start mixing. You probably have thought of this, but if you've got 10,000, you can say 10,000 different things. Right? Language is a creative process. Me, pa, now. Okay, that's how they communicate. So start mixing, get creative, have fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just have to work. What does that mean? Language is high frequency content. In any percent of anything you're ever going to say in conversation. Anything you're going to say in daily conversation. 2,000 words, you're speaking the language. The rest is icing on the cake. And when you're just beginning with a new language, start with your toolbox. Week number 1. In your new language, you say things like, how do you say that? I don't understand. Repeat that, please. What is that? Tool, making it relevant to learn other things about the language. By week 2, you should be saying, hot, simple pronouns, simple nouns, simple adjectives, communicating like a words. Although, but, therefore, these are logical transformers that tie bits of a language together, allowing you to make more complex meaning. At that point, you're talking. And when you're doing that, you should get yourself a language parent. If you look at how children and parents interact, you understand what this means. When a child is speaking, it'll be using simple words, simple combinations, sometimes quite strange, sometimes very strange pronunciation. Other people from outside the family don't understand it. But the parents do. And so the kid has a safe environment, gets confident. The parents talk to the children with body language or simple language to know the child understands. So you have a comprehensible input environment that's safe. You know it, otherwise none of you will speak your mother tongue. So you give yourself a language parent who's somewhat interested in you as a person, who communicate with you essentially as an equal, but pay attention to help you understand. The rules are, first of all, they will work out to understand what you mean. They will never correct your mistakes. Thirdly, they will feed back their understanding of what you're saying so that you can respond appropriately and get that feedback. And then they will use words that you know. The sixth thing you have to do, copy the face. You've got to get the muscles working right so you can sound in a way that people will understand you. There's a couple of things you do. One is you need to hear how it feels and see how it sounds, which means you have a feedback loop operating in your face. But ideally, you can look at a native speaker and just observe how they use their face. Let your unconscious mind absorb the rules. Then you're going to be able to pick it up. And if you can't get a native speaker to look at, you can use stuff like
Thank you, Shahab. Now we come to the last part of our orientation program today. Our next speaker is a very senior person having very vast experience at banking industry. Sir has been working as professor emeritus in the Department of Commerce and Business Management and he has held various top management positions in banks at India and Southeast Asia. His first-hand corporate experience is definitely going to add value to the teachings in the class. With these words, I request Professor Anil Dubey sir to address the students online.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Dr. Asma, for the introduction. Uh, the topic assigned to me today is the career in the business world, in the corporate world. So this is a topic I'm going to talk about, say next 30 minutes or so. The is familiar with this word. What is career? Career is basically the time that you spend working for a living, working for the purpose of earning livelihood. That is the career. And I'm sure all of you would have thought about your careers, what kind of careers you are going to have or you would like to have in future after you finish your studies or later in life. So I'm sure you would have spent some time thinking about that. To my mind, the choice of career is a very, very important decision of life. I would say it is as important as choice of your spouse. The things depend on it. Your entire life depends on it. What kind of career you choose. So you have to be careful actually. Not necessarily the first job that comes to you're going to make it. Unfortunately, many of the people, many of the students, they do not on this issue and they take up whatever is coming. Now, if you have not thought about this, I would suggest that during the time that you are here at the university, think about it. You have, say, maybe 2-3 years time to think seriously about it and see what suits you, what are your ambitions, what you can do better than others. And this kind of decision you can make yourself only. In fact, nobody can make this decision for you. Again, unfortunately, in India, in many families, it is the parents who take a decision about the career of their children. But that's not the right thing to do. In fact, that's the biggest mistake to my mind. And I have tried to follow that as a parent, as a teacher, as a mentor to people, and try to tell them that on this issue, the concerned person, the student himself, he should take a decision. And whatever decision he takes, of course, after deliberation, after a lot of discussion, after getting all the relevant information, that will be the best decision. I have examples, number of examples from my family also. When a child is given freedom and he exercises that to decide what he wants to do in life, that is the best kind of career for him. So this is an important thing, important part of your life, and you must take it up seriously. And the earlier you take a decision on this, the better. Now, I'll just tell you one small thing of this particular issue from Western world. In the Western world, there is a concept of gap year. Now, what is gap year? Gap year is something like after finishing the school, say 12 years, class 12, the student takes a break and he spends his time traveling, gathering all kind of information about various career options which could be possible, more in a leisurely manner, with no particular objective when he is traveling, when he is meeting people, when he is talking to people. The idea is just to gather all the information first and then assimilate it and understand what would be best for him. So he takes a break, he thinks about it, and many a times he takes up some kind of a small interesting thing, whatever interests them. In US, there is another concept known as Teach for America. The concept is that the students, after finishing their school, they go to some kind of villages is not the right word, underprivileged areas, people where there are underprivileged students. They teach there for a couple of years and then they come back. Then they decide that what kind of profession they want to go in for, what kind of courses, academic courses that they would like to pursue. And definitely after that kind of getting that kind of insight, when they choose a particular kind of educational program, that definitely is much more appropriate. So since you have already come to Integral University, which is one of the best universities available here, I'm sure you would have done that kind of thinking. The Department of Management, Commerce and Management will try to provide you all the very best of education as well as information which may help you in deciding about your future career. Maybe whatever inputs you need, you're always welcome to talk to the faculty, to experts, and all the people will all help you on that. Now let me talk about what kind of careers are open to university graduates from places like ours. The careers, as you know, careers could be in business. Business, again, we can talk about corporates as well as SME. Corporate, as you know, what is corporate? Corporate is the bigger business. Big business done by big corporate or companies. And SME, of course, is a little smaller kind of businesses. So you could have careers, you could have jobs available in both corporates as well as SMEs. Then there is government sector, you all know about it. There are a lot of government jobs and jobs in the public sector enterprises. Then there is also jobs in the say non-profit sector. Non-profit sector is basically companies which are not only for profit. Their existence is not only for profit, they have a much wider agenda. Usually we call it 3 Ps. 3 Ps is basically profit, people, and the planet. That means they care, these companies, they care, these kind of, not necessarily companies, sometimes they are by way of trust or some other kind of structure, that they care for people. They also care for the planet, that is environment. And of course, for their existence, they need to make profit so that they can continue in business. Then the careers could also be available as professionals. Professional, what I mean is the people who do their own kind of consulting business, or they provide the kind of services which are required by businesses, or individuals. It could be services in the field of, say, as a chartered accountant providing services to businesses for accounting function or tax function or audit function, and say as a lawyer providing services to legal service. So various kind of professional careers are also there. And finally, as you can also have a career as an entrepreneur. Professor Shahid had mentioned about a center that we have established here recently, Center for Incubation and Entrepreneurship Development, where we encourage the students to think in terms of becoming an entrepreneur rather than just seeking a job. So entrepreneurship as a career is also one kind of option and one possibility which you can explore while you are at the Integral University. Now, when you take a decision about career, what are the things that you can keep in mind? First and foremost to my mind is your aptitude. What you think suits you most? Are you an outgoing person? Are you a reserved person? Do you enjoy being alone? Do you enjoy being with your friends? And do you enjoy working in groups? Uh, do you have a head for numbers? You're good in calculations. Uh, so all these things, all these factors, and nobody knows better than you, as I said. This is your kind of decision which is going to help and which could be the most appropriate one. So you just look into your biography. What kind of person you feel you are? Are you do you enjoy curricular activities? Do you enjoy meeting people? Do you enjoy having a lot of relationships? So all these factors, they will help you in deciding, are you an extrovert or are you a little introverted? All these factors will decide you. And this is all I call aptitude. Your aptitude, what you are best suited for. And that will help you in kind of thinking in terms of what kind of career you should go in for. Now, we since we are supposed to talk about the corporate world, so I'll tell you very briefly what kind of careers are possible in corporate world. Corporate world may have a lot of opportunities in different functions. In the management terminology, we divide it into various functions. Functions like marketing, finance, operations, human resources, and there are many more added technology related. IT has become also a very important function in every business. IT has a role in each and every business. So all these functions, they require, and if you are particularly good in any of those areas, you can aspire to take up a career in the corporate world in any of these areas, in any of these functions. And of course, there are a lot of general managerial openings. At the entry level, there could be general openings for interns or for trainees, and they can be groomed by your company to grow over a period of time. In fact, most of the corporates like to do that. They recruit people and then they keep nurturing the talent and give them an opportunity to grow as you spend more and more time with the company. They also spend a lot of energy and resources on you to develop you. Now, what does the corporate look for in its employees or in its, say, people who join them. Definitely, they look for your professional competence, which I'm sure you can develop during the period of time you spend here at the university. Then your ability to work as a team. This is very, very important actually. In the corporate world for a business, it is very important that you should be able to work as a team. You should not be an odd man out. Because many times what happens, people are good, they are talented, but they have this difficulty. They cannot work with others. They feel they want to kind of outperform others. They want to show to others that they can do it better. Now that is not appreciated in the corporate world. Corporate world looks for the results, and results will come only when everybody works as a team. So your ability to work as a team, as well as your commitment to the job and the role that is assigned to you, this is very, very important for the corporate, for the company. Of course, factors like loyalty and honesty, they do play an important role, and it is definitely expected that a person who has joined as an employee, he will remain loyal as long as he is with the company, and definitely he'll be honest enough. Then, of course, discipline is very, very important. Discipline is important in all areas of life, all aspects. The internal discipline that one can have or develop, that is very, very critical. Very, very critical. There is nobody there. There not be all the time that you will be monitored. It has to come internally. It has to be developed inside. So that will, these are the things that a corporate looks for. Now, in the business world and the corporate world too, what are the success factors? What are the things that make you successful or not so successful, or maybe a complete failure? There are some things I've tried to jot down for you. First and foremost, the talent. Talent definitely is very important for the success of any person. But equally important is the attitude. Attitude is what? Your outlook, your positive outlook. You look to the things in a positive way, or you can be looking, you have an attitude of not being so positive for everything. Now, this is again very, very important for success in life, that one has a positive outlook, and definitely the motivation level and the passion kind of thing, because for about things that they do or things that they are interested to do, this passion makes you a success or not so successful person. Hard work definitely is important in life, and also for your career. You might have seen this in your families. Today's corporate world has become very, very demanding. The working hours, the kind of expectations of the companies. Now, why suddenly you feel, has it been a sudden development? No, it has not been sudden development. In the global world, there is so much of competition everywhere. People are going to outsmart you. People are going to, the companies also fear that. So they also have to be very, very competitive. So that's why they have become more demanding. And one factor which again I keep repeating, that is the grit. What is grit? Have you heard this term? Grit, Grit. आप डिक्शनरी में जरा देखिएगा. Grit means the resolve, the determination. I will do it, I can do it, and I will do it. Small failures, doesn't matter. I'll keep doing. Even if I am not succeeding in the first attempt, I'll keep doing. And I have resolved, I have determined that I am going to do it. This is very important, especially more so rather for entrepreneurs. They come across failures so many times, but they know that this idea is going to work and they keep doing, right? So grit is very important. And of course, this was mentioned by my previous speakers also, Dean sir as well as Shahid sir. Enjoy the process. Enjoy. That is important. Enjoy while you are studying. Enjoy while you are working. That part is very important. And you definitely, your results will be much better if you are doing with that kind of approach, that you are enjoying the work that has been given to you. It's not a burden. And that will come, again, the importance of the first factor that I mentioned. When you take up your career in an area which you feel is best suited to you, that means your decision to take up this career because you enjoy doing it, you can do it very well. So these are all interrelated. And lastly, keep learning all the time, both from success as well as failures. Rather, failures give you more lessons and more fruitful lessons, perhaps, if you have learned your lesson well. Let me talk a little bit about the various sectors of the economy. I'm talking about Indian economy particularly. I'm sure you know about it. I'm just very quickly going through that. You know, there are various sectors of economy like manufacturing sector, like service sector, like agriculture sector, like infrastructure. Now, infrastructure and technology, these are the two additions I have made from the traditional sectors of economy, which is manufacturing, agriculture, service. Now, manufacturing, as you know, lately in India, there has been a lot of emphasis on this. They are caused by the government for Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So all these things basically show the kind of emphasis that the government wants to be given. So manufacturing is opening up a lot of opportunities under the various programs of the government. Then agriculture has also recently opened up, especially the marketing of agriculture sector. So this will also open up a lot of opportunities of employment for people, young people like you. Service is is a very big segment of the employment scenario, employing a lot of people. And service sector has a number of kind of services. It could be banking and financial services, the telecom telecom sector, the trading, e-commerce, international business, all these areas, they are all coming under the service sector. And of course, the infrastructure, again, a lot of emphasis being given to developing infrastructure in the country by way of roads, by way of electricity, by way of power, by way of various resources that we need, traditional as well as the modern kind of infrastructure in terms of like solar energy and different kind of alternate energy sources. And last, but the most important now is the technology. You know that the major corporations of the world today, the most valued companies of the world today, they are all in the technology sector. And the way the technology is growing and growing so fast, actually, everything is changing so fast. Uh, I don't need to emphasize that, but just say about 50 years back, the information, knowledge, everything grew at a rate of say 30, in 30 years, it will get doubled. Then to 5 years, and now I feel perhaps every 2 years the whole set of information, set of knowledge, set of how is it happening? It is because of technology. Technology has rushed the whole change process so fast. So technology, definitely technology companies, they provide very kind of high level of opportunities, very useful opportunities for young people. I'll just spend a little bit of time on banking and financial services because this is my area. I have spent about 35 years in this area. I have seen various segments of this area and closely being a part of it. I feel I'll spend a little time on this, 5-10 minutes on this. Now, banking and financial services is one sector. If we talk only about the Indian scenario, it has the largest market capitalization in the BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. The largest segment of capitalization is of BFSI sector. It is about, to my mind, it is close to about 35% of the entire market capitalization is of these companies. Also, BFSI sector provides almost 40% of the employment opportunities. Now you can realize that why I'm talking about it. This is so important sector of economy where maximum kind of opportunities exist. By and large, the salaries, the reward system, that is good. You can expect a very kind of a steady and growing career in these areas if you perform well, if you are ready, if you keep updating yourself. Because what is most important is this sector has again grown at a very fast pace, and also there has been a complete kind of revolution. If I tell you the time when I started to work in this sector in 1975, and now today is complete sea change. I cannot even visualize that what kind of banking we were doing in those days and what kind of banking we are doing now. It's so vast a change. So this is an area which provides lots of opportunities. Also, you need to keep yourself changing. You need to get yourself ready for whatever kind of changes it is taking place, and you get yourself ready for that. And definitely, it's a white collar kind of job. So most of the people they want to do this kind of things. Now, what BFSI sector is, what kind of companies are there in this sector? B is banking, so basically all the kind of banks. And for your information, maybe some of you might be aware, banks are different kind of banks. Bank is not just our general impression about bank is what we see across like HDFC Bank or State Bank of India. They are the commercial banks, but there are other kind of banks as well, and those could be investment banks where people, investors invest their money and the banks help them in utilizing their money, investing their money and getting them good returns through various kind of products and services, the shares, the bonds, and other financial products including derivatives and variety of products and services. So those are the investment banks. Then there are development banks. There are banks which are purely for the purpose of development, like we have SIDBI, we have NABARD, we have National Housing Bank, we have Export Import Bank. So banks which are exclusively devoted to the development of a particular sector. So variety of banks are there. And then there are other companies which are called the non-bank, which are doing similar kind of activities as the banks. Not all the functions of one NBFC is specializing in one particular area. Some companies may specialize in financing, say, vehicles, the cars, trucks. Some company may specialize in financing, say, houses. So different kind of companies which specialize in particular areas. Then there could be insurance companies. You have heard of insurance companies. The companies in this segment would be life insurance companies, general insurance companies, health insurance companies. So they provide the insurance services. Then, of course, there could be brokerage houses which provide services to investors for doing the deals. And there could be some very specialized kind of companies also in this segment, like venture capital. I don't know whether you have heard this term, venture capital, who provide financing to entrepreneurs. There are private equity companies which provide services to maybe sick companies or companies which are not performing so well. They buy them and then they sell them. They act as traders of companies, buy and sell the companies. Then mutual fund, I am sure you have heard of. So there are various kind of companies which are there, and so variety of NBFC is a very large kind of sphere. The typical job profiles in a BFSI company could be as financial analyst is the most common, not common, but most sought after kind of job. Every graduate wants to be a business analyst, financial analyst, business analyst. Then there are roles like, say, in the front office, in the back office, in the customer service, operations, product development, sales. Of course, sales is the key for any organization. Without sales, it will not be able to exist. So sales is very important, even though some people have reservations about it. But I always keep telling my students, sales, if you start your career in sales, you can go very far, because sales one has to learn in life. If he has not done this, you ask any CEO of any company, any financial services company, he definitely has spent good time in sales, and because that's the opportunity to understand the customer. That's the first and foremost opportunity for you to get a first-hand feedback from the customer. So sales is such an important function, even though people have wrong notions about it. So sales is also very important kind of function. There are wealth managers, there are many other managerial kind of positions. So variety of job roles and job functions and profiles are available. In the there are some specialized roles also, but that will maybe sometime talk later some time. Uh, in investment banks, there are roles like risk management specialist. In the insurance companies, actuarial staff, actuarial roles. So all those things I'm not going to talk much. I'll just take a couple of more minutes and then I'll wind up this session. The how to prepare for a career in the financial services sector. How should be one prepare? What kind of qualifications? What kind of uh, things that he must do? So basically, you can keep, in addition to doing your program, whatever program you have taken up or you are going to take up, you also have this in mind that you can start as early as possible, increasing your professional competence by doing various certification programs. In the finance sector, there are variety of certification programs. There are certificate programs done by BSc, NSC, National Institute of Securities and Financial Markets. Then there are programs for wealth managers, programs for say actuarial qualifications. If you intend to go in for insurance sector, then you can take it up. Actuarial is a very good qualification, especially for those who are good in maths, who have a head for maths. This is a good career. Then, of course, there are professional qualifications which you can aim simultaneously with your degree, or maybe after you complete the degree, like chartered accountancy, CA, CPA, CFA, ACMA, which is cost and management accounting, ACS, which is company secretaryship exam. Then if you are taking up banking as a career, then Indian Institute of Banking and Finance has also certain diplomas and certificate programs. So all these things you can do of your own. They are definitely helpful. They are definitely helpful. I'm coming to the close. Just I'll again mention about entrepreneurship as a career. This is a very good option. You should also explore this. And if you have that kind of thing that I want to do something of my own, I want to, rather than being an employee, I want to give people jobs, that kind of spirit. And of course, it requires a lot of hard work. I told you the grit part is very much needed here. You may come across a lot of failures before you finally succeed. So entrepreneurship as a career, that also you can keep in your mind. Last, the role of mentors. To my mind, for the success of any career, whether a job or as an entrepreneur, corporate job, government job, any kind of job, mentor is a very, very important person. Who is a mentor? I'm sure you have heard this term, mentor. Mentor is a friend, philosopher, and a guide. And where do you find this animal, mentor? Every field you can find. You can have your mentors at your workplace, you can have your mentors among your faculty, you can have your mentors in your family. You can have your mentors among your friends. So anybody who can sincerely help you in clarifying your doubts, in giving you the required knowledge, and putting you more importantly, putting you in the right track. And that will come only when that your relationship with that person is such that he is genuinely taking interest in you. He genuinely wants to help you. He genuinely wants you to succeed. So look for a mentor, and I think with that I would like to close. Uh, all the very best. I always like to close with a quote. So I'm just sharing my screen. Let's see if I can do that. Are you able to see my screen? Shahab, is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm closing this talk with a quote from Alvin Toffler, one of my very favorite writers. He is a futurologist and he wrote a book, The Future Shock, which I recommend strongly to people. And he said that the illiterate people of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. The emphasis is the last two terms. We learn definitely, but we forget to unlearn and again relearn. So this is the key. This is the key for success as far as my understanding. We have to keep learning, unlearning, and relearning. With this, I will close the session. Thank you.
With this, we come to the end of this session for the first part of the orientation program in the department. And I extend my thanks to all the students, head of the department, dean, faculty members for their patient listening. But all the students are requested to join the Google Class link, which has been provided by the class coordinators. And once again, my best wishes to you all, and I am sure that you have a wonderful experience in the campus. Thanks a lot. Please join the Google Class link, which has been shared on the WhatsApp group. Thank you.